if you want to understand what AI agents actually are, not the buzzword version, not the hype version, then this video is going to break it all down for you from scratch. By the end of this video, you'll understand what makes an agent, how do they think and act, the different patterns that they follow, and which frameworks industries are actually using to build them right now. And look, I get it. The term AI agent is everywhere. Every single LinkedIn post, every startup pitch, every conference talk. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And honestly, some people think that it is just ChatGPT with a fancy name. Other people think that it is going to replace their jobs, but the truth is somewhere in the middle. It's way more interesting than either of those states. So let's slow down, cut through the noise, and actually understand what's going on. Before we dive in, I'm Aishwarya Srinivasan. I've spent over 10 years working in machine learning and AI. I have a master's degree in data science from Columbia University, and I've worked as a data scientist at Microsoft, Google, and IBM. I've also led developer relations at Fireworks AI, and I'm currently building two startups. One in stealth, and the other one is called Gen Academy. And Gen Academy is an AI skill building platform which is focused on teaching the real things that teams are building in production. Fun fact, I'm also the most followed Indian woman in AI. I started my journey sharing AI resources on LinkedIn, and I'm super passionate about helping AI professionals upskill. So now let's jump into AI agents. So here's the thing. To understand agents, you need to understand the spectrum of how AI systems make decisions. Because agent isn't a single thing, it's a design psychology. So let's start at the very beginning. Think about a vending machine. Let's say you press B4, it gives you chips every single time. There's no thinking, there's no adapting, there's no surprises. That is a rule based system. It follows a fixed script. If this, then that. That's it. Now imagine that you swap the vending machine for a really knowledgeable friend. You tell them that I'm hungry, I want something which is salty but not too heavy. And they actually think about it. They ask a follow-up question, they consider what you had yesterday, and then they make a judgment call. That's much closer to what a large language model or LLM does. It's not following a fixed script. It's reasoning over language using patterns that it's learned from massive amounts of text and generating a response that fits your content. But here is where it gets really interesting. An LLM on its own is still kind of stuck. It can talk to you, but it can't do things. It's like a brilliant person locked in a room with no phone, no computer, and no way to interact with the world. All they can do is talk. Now, agentic AI is what happens when you give that brilliant person a phone, a computer, or access to the internet or a calendar. Now they can not only think, they can act. They can search for information, they can run calculations, they can send emails, they can write code, they can call external services and whatnot. Now that combination, which is an LLM that can perceive its environment, make decisions and take actions, is what is really meant by an AI agent. And underneath all of this, there's a few key components that makes an AI agent work. So let me walk you through them first. First, you have the brain, which is the LLM itself. This is the reasoning engine. It decides what to do next based on the goal that you've given it. Second, you have the tools. This is how the agent interacts with the world. Tools are basically functions that the agents can call. Things like search the web, read a file, run this code, call this API. This is called tool calling, and it's one of the most important concepts in agentic AI and not very easy to achieve. The LLMs don't do these things directly, it decides when to do what, and then the system executes it on their behalf. Then the third thing you have is memory. Agents can have short term memory, basically the conversation history in the current session, or a long term memory where they can store and retrieve information across different sessions. So think of it like working memory versus a notebook that you can always refer back. And the fourth thing is you have planning and reasoning, which is the ability to break a big goal into smaller steps and figure out what to do first, then second, and then third. Now, this is what separates a truly agentic system from the one that just answers one question. Now, not every AI agent is equally autonomous. And this is actually really important for you to understand, especially if you're thinking about building and deploying agents in production where you're controlling everything. So think of it like driving a car. At one end, you have full manual. You're in control of everything. At the other end, you have a fully self-driving car that handles everything without your input. AI agents exist in a similar spectrum. At the lowest level, you have a single question and answer setup. The model answers, you verify, and then you move forward. That's barely an agent. It's more like a smart chatbot. One step up, you have the model that can use tools. It can search the web or run a calculation, but you're still involved in approving every single step. Then, once you move further along, you get agents that can chain multiple steps together without checking in every time. They are given a goal and they figure out the path. You're more like a supervisor reviewing the output at the very end. And at the highest level, which is still pretty rare, and risky in production today. You have fully autonomous agents that take long sequences of action across multiple systems, make judgment calls, and only surface results when they're done. Here is what I want you to understand about this bit. More autonomy means more capability, but also more risk. An AI agent that can execute dozens of actions without checking in is powerful and also capable of making a costly mistake at, let's say, step 3 that compounds through every single step afterwards. So, when you're designing agentic AI systems, one of the most important decisions that you need to make is how much should I trust this agent to act alone? Okay, now let's talk about how agents actually execute tasks because this is where things start to feel real. You need to book flights, you need to find a hotel, you need to check the weather and research the restaurants. You could do all of these one by one, finish the flights, then move on to hotel, then the weather, then the restaurant. That's a linear execution, one step at a time in a sequence. But what if you had four assistants? One can handle flights, one can handle hotels, one can check the weather, and one researches the restaurant, all at the same time. That is parallel execution. And when your tasks are independent of each other, this is dramatically faster and more efficient. So in agentic AI system, the same principle applies. A linear agent processes one step at a time, waits for the result, and then processes the next, which is simple and predictable. It's easy to debug. A parallel agent spins up multiple subtasks simultaneously, which is great for speed, but requires more careful design in order to make sure that the results actually get integrated properly at the end. In production systems, you'll often see a hybrid version of this. Some steps run in parallel where they can, and the others are sequential because step B genuinely depends on the output of step A. Now, this is part of what frameworks like LangChain are built to handle, and we'll get to that in a second. This is honestly my favorite part of the conversation because agentic patterns are like design blueprint. They are reusable strategies that define how an agent reasons and operates. So let me walk you through the big ones first. So the first pattern is React, which is reasoning and acting. React is probably the most foundational pattern in agentic AI. The idea is simple. The agent alternates between thinking and doing. It reasons about what to do, takes an action, observes the result, and then reasons again, then takes another action, and so on. So here is a concrete example that will help you understand this. Imagine that you ask an agent, what's the current stock price of Apple and how does it compare to its 52-week high? The agent thinks, I need to look up the current stock price. It calls a tool, gets the result, and then thinks, now I need the 52-week high. So it calls another tool, gets that result, and thinks, now I have to compare. And then gives you the answer. So it's happening step by step. So the pattern is thought, action, observation, thought, action, observation. That's React. Then pattern number 2 is reflection. And this one's fascinating. A reflection agent doesn't just act, it looks back at what it did and critiques itself. It's like having an internal auditor. Imagine you're drafting an email. A reflection agent writes a draft and literally reviews its own draft and asks, is this clear? Is the tone right? Did I miss anything? And then it revises it. This loop can run multiple times. What you end up with is usually significantly better than the first passes because the model is catching its own mistake before you ever see them. So, pattern number 3 is plan and execute. Here's the thing about React, it's reactive. It figures out the next step as it goes. Plan and execute is different. The agent first creates a full plan, a sequence of steps to accomplish the goal, and then executes the plan. Think of it like a project manager who creates a roadmap before writing a single line of code versus a developer who just starts coding and figures it out as they go. Plan and execute is more structured, it's more predictable, and often better for complex and multi step tasks where you need to keep the big picture in mind. Then the pattern number 4 is multi-agent systems. Now we're getting into the territory that becomes really, really important in 2026. Multi-agent AI systems are setups where multiple AI agents work together, each with a specific role or specialization. Here is an analogy that I love. Think about a hospital. You don't have one doctor who does everything, performs surgery, reads x rays, handles pharmacy, and manages billing. You have specialists. Each one is excellent in their own thing and they coordinate through a system. Now, multi agent AI system works the same way. You might have a research agent that is finding information, a writing agent that drafts content, a review agent that critiques it, and an orchestrator agent that coordinates everything. The orchestrator breaks down the tasks, delegates to the right specialist, and integrates the final results. Now, this division of labor is what makes complex real world workflows actually achievable with AI. Then pattern number 5 is swarm. Swarm is like multi-agent system taken to its logical extreme. So instead of a fixed hierarchy with a clear orchestrator, you have a collection of agents that self organize. They communicate with each other, they pass tasks fluidly, and collectively converge on a solution. The inspiration is literally from nature. Ant colonies or bee swarms. No single ant has a master plan, but collectively they build incredibly complex structures. In AI, swarm architectures are still being explored and refined, but they are showing real promise for problems that are too large and dynamic for any single agent or a fixed pipeline to handle. Okay, so now you understand the concept. But if you really want to build agentic AI systems, you need to know the tools that people are using right now. So let me walk you through the three most important frameworks in 2026. The first one is LangGraph. So LangGraph is built on top of LangChain and it's designed for building stateful multi-step agents. The core concept is that you define your agent's logic as a graph where nodes are actions or decisions and the edges define the flow between them. This gives you incredible control over how the agent moves through a task. It handles parallel execution, loops, conditional branching, all the complexities of real workflows. And because it's graph based, you can actually see the structure of what your agent is doing. Now, for production use cases, LangGraph is one of the most popular choices right now, especially for teams that need reliability and debuggability. Then the second one is CrewAI. CrewAI takes a different approach. It's optimized for multi-agent workflows where each agent has a designed role, goal, and a backstory. It's almost like casting actors for play. You define your crew. You have a researcher, an analyst, a writer. Give each of them a personality and a purpose, and then define the tasks that they need to do together. Now, Crew AI is fantastic for getting started quickly with multi-agent systems. And it happens to be clean, readable code. So if you're exploring role-based agent architecture for the first time, this is honestly where I would point you. And the third one is AutoGen. AutoGen is originally built from Microsoft, is built around conversational multi-agent systems. The idea is that agents solve problems by talking to each other. You can have human in the loop where a human agent participates in the conversation alongside AI agent. You can have fully automated back and forth between these agents, and you can configure how much human oversight you want. AutoGen is particularly popular in research and enterprise settings where you need flexibility, conversation driven coordination between multiple different agents. The honest answer on which one to use, it really depends on your use case. If you want fine grained control and production robustness, then go with LangGraph. If you're doing role based collaboration and want clean, fast prototyping, then go with TrueAI. If you're building conversational multi agent pipelines, especially with human oversight, then go check out AutoGen. And if you're serving these agents at scale with low latency, and if you understand this, you're already ahead of most people calling themselves AI engineers out there. All the resources that I've mentioned, whether it's frameworks, documentation, and further reading, are linked in the description below. So do go explore them. Don't just watch this video and move on. Go open a notebook, spin up a CrewAI example, read that LangGraph documentation. That's how you can actually start learning these. And if this video gave you clarity, please do subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out what's coming next. I post regularly about AI and ML career tips, free resources, technical deep dives, and honestly, my journey as an immigrant building a career as an AI leader in the US. It's not always glamorous, but it's real and I think it resonates. One more thing. If you're serious about mastering agentic AI systems, Arvind Narayan Murthy, my co-founder, and I have built a deep dive mastering agentic AI bootcamp at the Gen Academy. It's hands-on, it's production-focused, and it's exactly the kind of learning that bridges the gap between watching tutorials and building real systems. The link is in the description below, so go check it out. And if you have any questions, please do drop a comment below. I read all of them and try to answer as much as I can. See you in the next one.